Hey, this is Mario Kart again. This is part 7 of our ragdolling tutorial. All I'm going to do now is set the bone constraints for all the parts of our model here. And then I'm going to paste that back into the QC right here under here. And we'll compile that and stick it in Gmod. Okay. To seal the bone parts, or the collision model, I mean, just click on highlight. You can see our model, right? Or wait, do I have that on twice? No. Okay. Okay, so yeah, just click on highlight, and you can see the pelvis is highlighted. We don't want to move the pelvis at all. We'll just move to the next bone, the thigh. So what we're gonna do to test the bone and to set the constraint is we have a min and the max, which means forward or backwards movement of a pivot. We have X pivot, the Y pivot, and the Z pivot. I'm gonna use link. What link does is when I move one direction and the other will go in the other direction. If I turn that off and I move one direction, it'll just stay in that same direction there. Okay. So anyway, we'll just use link when we use the test slider. This is the test slider. When you set a constraint, use the test slider, go back and forth from min to max. Okay. So we can see that rotates the leg. Obviously, I don't want it to rotate like that. Just a little bit, maybe. I'm going to do that for all the axes. The leg looks okay like that. Maybe I want to just go a little bit higher on the one side there, so I'll just untick link and go up a bit like that. Okay. So that, yeah, I'm just going to go through all the bones, like so. A lot of it's just trial and error, and understanding the human body. Obviously, some limbs shouldn't go in one direction, like say like this. Yeah, you don't want to be doing that in the game. So yeah, just try to set things logically. It is a little bit time consuming actually. So I'm just going to try and whiz through this so I can show you in Gmod. Alright. I'm actually just going to set... I'll show you just one side and then I'll pause the video and do the other side so I can show you in Gmod later on. Because I don't want to run short on time again. Let's quickly set that. Excuse me. Oops, I mean to do that. Oops, I had link on. It's very boring. That's why I usually use the same bone names for all my bones. That way I can just copy and paste the bone constraints. But I decided not to do that for you guys, just to show you what you initially have to do if you're making new bones. Okay. Anyway, I'll just do this one arm and show you what happens in Gmod. Okay. But if I were you, I would go through the entire model and set all the bone weights, or the bone constraints. I mean, not weights. How far am I? I'm like halfway anyway. I'll just set the head and I'll be done. Flippy flop, uppy dup. Alright, they're done. Okay, so when you're done, do not press F5. Okay, if you press F5, you'll lose everything. Okay, don't do anything else. Just once you're done, click on Generate QC. All that does is it pastes all that information you just did into your clipboard. If you don't know what a clipboard is, it's when you click and you go to copy, that's a clipboard. It saves what you have highlighted onto a clipboard so you can use paste later on. So we have all this stuff on our clipboard and we can actually paste this into our QC. So here's our QC. And what you're going to highlight is everything from the bottom bracket. You're going to slide up You're going to click and slide up, and you're going to highlight everything up to mass, and then you're going to right click and you're going to go paste. Okay. There's a few things that we don't need because we already have it up above. So we're going to delete everything underneath the bracket. We're going to scroll up, and you can see we have 2 collision joint lines here. So we're just going to delete this one extra line. It's always going to be called collision joint ragdoll. So delete that one. Because we already have the line called phys model. Okay. That's pretty much it. So we're just going to save. Okay. Save that, yes. And now we're going to test into Gmod. Actually, before I do that, if I have enough time, there's a file browser in Gmod, but for some reason I can't find my own model in the episode 2 directory. So I'm just going to copy and paste my stuff and stick it into the actual Gmod directory so I can find it easier. So right here I have the Gmod directory and I have the episode 2 directory here. So I'm going to paste this into my material folder really quickly. I'm also going to paste the materials. I meant the materials, I mean the models. Sioko, copy, Gmod folder, models, and paste. Alright, so now we can test in the game now. My game's Gary's Mod. Just take a second to launch. I think I'll just pause the video for a quick second as this is loading, because Gary's Mod actually takes quite a while to load. Oh, looks like I can't now. Went full screen. Okay, now here I am in Gmod. I'm just going to go to my browse directory, click on Gary's Mod here. Here's my model here. Click on that to spawn it. Oh shoot. I would have swore I put the materials in the material directory. Shoot. Just going to quickly pause the video again and redo that. Oh, it's still recording. Okay. Yeah, I just want to tell you guys that, yeah, what I did was I pasted my materials in the material folder, but actually it should be in the materials model folder. That's why it didn't spawn right. Anyway, I'm going to go back in the Gary's Mod. Again, I'm going to pause the video so I don't waste too much time here. Shoot. There's one more thing I had to do, so I canceled Gmod again. Just really quickly, we pasted that new constraint stuff in, but I forgot to recompile. So really quickly, I'm going to go to compile again, just to compile the changes that we made. Otherwise, our model won't even move. So yeah, those are the constraints. I've saved that, and I'm just going to recompile that. Okay. Again, I'm going to find my models and paste them into my Gmod directory. There they are. I think compile yet? Okay. Paste. Paste. Alright. For the third time, I'm going to pause again, show you guys back in Gmod. Okay? Be back. Okay, here I am again in Gmod here. My browser. Here's my model here. Whoa. Yeah, you can see the bone constraints maybe were a little bit too loose. Her arm and her body kind of moves kind of weird. And we're just going to check the three things. Three things being eyes, fingers, whatever. Okay. So just going to really quickly do that. Eye poser. That works. Finger pose, face poser. That works. And lastly, finger posing. Where is you? Finger poser here. We'll just make it flat. Thumbs up. A little bit rough maybe, but you can use this thing here to Try to smooth out the fingers maybe. So yeah, that works.